Hello, hello, hello. All right, so today we're going to talk about stress when it comes to money. Now, normally I have that little music, like ding, ding. I'm like, no, I'll just skip that for today. But so we're going to talk about stress when it comes to money. And you're about to see why most struggle when it comes to money. And this is another powerful chapter. I only share powerful information. This is all truth. Working closely with Bob Proctor and other great mindset leaders, and then applying their experience, they're applying their knowledge and information and experiencing greater wealth for myself. And then I've combined 20 years of working with thousands of entrepreneurs, right? And then working as a leader in the commercial finance world for 2 decades, and then combine that with my incredible journey to figure me out and what was causing my voids, right? Because I was a binge eater as well. And then what forced me to play small, why I struggled to earn more money. So that's where this is all coming from. I also do have substantial education in commerce. You'll notice I'll never talk about my education. Why? Because it never taught me anything about money or living the life I want. So I've got to be honest here. None of this is taught in schools. So it's like Steve Jobs said, he dropped out of school and started to study what he wanted to study, the things he was drawn to. And then from that place, he started to create things that this world has never seen before. And that's what I've done here. And that's what I'm hoping to share with you, that encourage you to recognize that this is the way. And I know I'm going to be a big disruption to the weight loss industry because it is time to change. Your struggles with your body goes beyond body, right? It goes beyond the body. But if you've been watching my powerful videos, right, all week, all these 5 lessons, please understand you're about to discover how to live the life you want, right? Even if you didn't think it was possible before this program, you're about to see that. And I don't think I need to convince any one of you of that, right? We all know this is happening, this is true, and it's all beautiful. So keep watching these videos because they're extremely powerful. So today we're going to talk about stress around money. So this is really important. I really wish that people could hear me out on this one. We know that money is the vehicle that gives us the things that we want in life. That's the truth, right? That's really what money is. It allows us to do what we want to do. So today we're going to talk about how to create the abundance that you want, how to change your thinking to be able to attract what you need to you. We're going to talk about money, which is so good because most feel bad around money, don't they? And you're about to see why they feel so bad around money. So as a quick reminder, it's important to have an open mind. And I know I keep saying this, but some of this stuff will sound very incredibly foreign to you. You may not even have heard some of the stuff I spoke to you. You might not even have heard any of this stuff before. It might not totally make sense to you. But what I can tell you is if you have an open mind, this can change absolutely everything with you. And an open mind, all it does is just accepts new ideas and new information, and then permits you to think about that information and how it will change your life for the better. So this completely changed me, but I changed me with my open-mindedness. The more closed-minded people are, please look around, the more they struggle. I had the willingness to listen to perspectives that I've never considered before. That's what makes an incredible business person. That's what allows and drives people to connect to very ideas to give them the wealth that they're looking for, okay? And I will always have an open mind. I always want to hear how things are perceived differently, and I want you as well. So yes, say yes. Stay in the receiving mode. Say yes to this and ideas and everything else. So make sure that you're able to hear everything that I'm saying to you, and you'll grow and you'll learn and you'll be able to stop this stress with money permanently. All right. So we cannot give to others what we don't have. So this knowledge is going to be so beautiful for all the people around you as well. So today we're going to talk about money. The reason why I want to talk about money and the stress around money is because I want to start working on the first shift that you can make in your thinking. Money controls the majority of the population. If we really want to be free, we must control money, not allow money to control us. And let me explain this. Just 1 year ago, I had a very different thought process around money. And the thought process around money kept me having almost the same amount of money month after month after month, year after year. And I'll get little increases yearly, but that's about it. So how many here think, let's get a degree, let's get more education, thinking it's the only way that they will increase their income? Because we all work so hard to get more educated, get those certifications. And we think, okay, this will get me the job I want. So I thought the more certifications and the more degrees that I had, the more possibilities would be available for me in terms of income. Who of you were made to believe this too? But I really realized that nothing in my life was changing very much. I was still only seeing one way of making money, and that was through my job. So all I could see was what was at the top of that pay scale. And I would look at the top of that pay scale and I'd see that top number and I'd be like, oh, you know what? I'm getting pretty close. I must be successful, right? At the time, I couldn't see what I see now. I couldn't see how we all think about money and how we behave around money. But how you see money and behave around money really determines much more. It really determines how much money you're going to attract in your life. And it is quite simple. What we do is we overcomplicate things. And this is, the truth is simple. Remember that it really is. And that's why we feel so light living the truth. So that's why I'm going to talk more about your behavior and your attitude around money, because that is what you need to change. And like Bob said in the inner circle was, our perception is our reality. You want to change your reality. If that's what you want to do, then you've got to change your perception. So we got to change your perception around what we think earning money is all about. And that's what I want to help you do. So I would ask yourself right now, what's your current relationship like with money? What is your current language around money? How do you think about money? How do you talk about money? Does money rule you? Or are you the master of money? I have a feeling that a lot of people feel that money is something that is completely out of their control. I have a feeling a lot of people believe that the amount of money that you earn is out of your control. My old self, I never saw myself making more than $200,000 a year max. And even that 200,000 for some of you might be saying, well, God, that's a lot. But you have to understand that it took me 20 years to even get there. 20 years in the same industry, working like insane hours to get to that level. That's really, think about it. And I thought I made it. I thought, you've reached the top of your earning potential. Now you'll need an MBA. Because that's what they would say to me, right? Natalie, if you want to become a CEO now, you better get an MBA. I never saw it. I couldn't figure out how could I ever earn more than $200,000 a year without a significant amount of education. And when I did think about $1 million, it was like winning the lottery. That's it. I couldn't understand a different way. So think about how money makes you feel. When you think of money, do you think of money as being abundant and lots of it? Or is money something that causes you stress, keeps you up at night, causes issues in your relationships, causes you to eat? Or maybe this is you. Wanting more of it makes you feel selfish or greedy. Start paying attention to how you feel around money. And then look at your results. And then connect the dots. Right now, I bet you can easily connect the dots. So I want you to, this one is really powerful. So think of all the TV shows. They show the rich people as greedy and the bad people, right? Rich people are cruel, greedy, taking from others. And then you see on TV these marriages falling apart because of money. Really? It's money? The marriage is falling apart because of money, not their nasty behavior towards each other? Nope. It's the money. Look what the money did. Money is bad. TV and media influences people to see the bad in everything, the negative, the lies, the deceit. And people build negative assumptions around what they hear and see. But that is not thinking. That is simply following. And we have a society that is following each other, 95% to be accurate. And I fell right in that, smack in the middle of all that. I didn't want to believe I was following. Of course not. I'm successful. I don't follow. But I was following all these false assumptions because we see it on TV. And so years after years, layers and layers of false and negative assumptions, leading this world towards more negativity. It's not the money that is the cause to our problems. Money is not evil. Think about it. So this world we live in has a lot of negative connotation around money. So if you want money and you aspire to have money, you are money hungry. You're greedy. All of these things. I had one of these ads, actually it was last month, and I sent out, it was all about weight loss for weight loss practitioners and about earning more money, as lots of weight loss practitioners earn very little money. And of course they will. Until they study the mind, they cannot help most people. So, right? You can't serve people. It's going to be really hard to earn the extra money. So many saw the ad and had a negative response to my ad. And this one lady, because it was, because it was about earning more money. And this one lady said, shouldn't the priority of weight loss coach not be about money? And she started talking about metabolic issues. First off, metabolic issues was never meant to be a thing. Society has made it a thing with our thinking. But I get where she's coming from because I was taught this too. And it's out there and people talk about it, right? But back to the response I got from that ad, here's the truth. Our number one priority, no matter what industry you are in, no matter who you work with, is to serve people. To serve people in a bigger, better way. And in our case with weight loss is to build models that delivers permanent results, because permanent results means you're really serving people in a big way. Because that's what people want. So the more you serve, the more you will earn big money. Microsoft learned how to serve billions of people in a big, big way. So he became a billionaire. Steve Jobs, all of them understand that that's how we earn more money. The most successful entrepreneurs I've had the pleasure and continue to have the pleasure to work with are those that have a primary focus to serve people in a bigger, better way. I've also worked with entrepreneurs that believe that everybody's out there to screw them. And so what do you think they're doing to the people they're serving? Right? That thinking, it's all in the thinking. The second thing I need to bring up about the response I got from that ad is how much the majority of the population don't believe in earning big money. The minute they see $50,000, $100,000 a month or more, no way, must be a scam. Please understand, there are a lot of people earning 50 to 100K a month. They are more and more than ever before, actually. That's growing. But your thinking's got to change in thinking that it's a scam. And I get it because I was the same way. I used to believe that this was all a scam. Well, because I thought all of it was a scam, and I thought it was a scam because I couldn't see me earning that kind of money. So if I can't see me earning that kind of money, that means nobody else can. So it's got to be a scam. That was my thinking. And some people, they sometimes feel guilty of wanting to earn more. They feel guilty to want to earn that much money. God, they feel so selfish. Because so look around you. We're caught in between a catch-22. If you don't have any money, you struggle to earn money, you can't pay your bills. And for some, they're simply not living life to the fullest because they budget themselves so much, right? They put a price tag on everything. If you do these things, you're not feeling a sense of freedom and ease related to your life. But if you are someone who really wants money to increase your lifestyle and go for it, and you work for it, then you're looked at someone that is money hungry, or that you should feel ashamed, right? That you should feel ashamed for wanting a large amount of money. Catch-22. That's what's going on out there. Think about it. What I can honestly say is when I release this feeling of guilt for wanting more, no matter what people shouted around me and continue obviously to shout around me, that was freedom. Because when they keep shouting, I just realize that because they can't see it possible for them. That's the only reason why they're shouting. Everybody's shouting from a place of what they see inside of themselves. Please don't let that impact you. It just tells you more about who they are and what they're living with. It's not who they are, sorry, of what they're living with. Because most have been taught to believe money is negative. I was taught that too. When I started to really move my energy in a big way and say, yes, I want more money. And I'm not going to be ashamed of that, because the more I can give, the more I get, the more I can give. When I started to do that, when I started thinking about wanting and having more money, things really started to shift. So wanting more money is a beautiful thing, because by having more money, we can do more, we can spend more. What do you think you're doing to the economy? We help others more. Think of all the people I hire that love to work with me, the impact I have on their lives, the foundation that we want to start to help single moms. We've got these things that we're working in the back end. We can't make this happen if I do not get over my own money paradigm. Same with you. How can I make any of this happen in my life playing in a world that thinks negative thoughts around money? I can't think negative thoughts around money. So how can you change the world around you if you stay in that frequency of, yeah, money is bad, money is evil, yeah, money is not important. Please, it's pretty clear it's important. I guarantee there's a very little you can give to others if you don't have anything to give. That job you go to, a good thing your employer is looking to earn more money, because if he wasn't looking to earn more money, he wouldn't even be able to employ you. Circulation of money is so important. When people stop circulating, what happens? Recessions, job losses, families with less money. So you making a lot of money and circulating that money, it's good. It's so unbelievably good for everyone around you. We really do change the lives of people around us. And it's not the actual money that we want. Like, money is like paper or money in the bank. Money is meant to be used. That's why money should never be your master. I know people that have earned money, but they're connected to their money. God forbid they're so scared of losing it. Money holds absolutely no power but the power you give to it. And people place more power in money than they should. How many of you need to look at a price tag to determine if you are worthy enough to have that item? I used to. How many of you feel uncomfortable walking in stores that you feel you cannot afford? A lot of you. How many of you are saying no to changing your lives because of money? Money stops people from leaving, right? Living. It stops people from leaving the job that they hate. You know, I've worked with thousands of entrepreneurs and I've seen all their balance sheets year after year. And I also saw their struggles and their behavior around money. There's quite a correlation, I'll tell you that much. It's a tight, strong correlation between the two. Do you understand that the majority of the entrepreneurs that are struggling, they are struggling, but they're pretending they're not? Do you understand that they are struggling because of their mindset around money? And that your fear right now about opening, and I remember I had this fear. Remember, I'm like working with entrepreneurs and I see the statistics, and in the first 5 years, 80% of businesses go under, and I see these statistics. But here's the thing, once your mindset shifts and you're in control of why the statistics are happening, it's all because of their fear. And if you haven't seen my chapter yesterday about fear, you're going to create the very results in your life based on what you don't understand about money. It's their feeling about money that is sabotaging them. It's their mindset that is sabotaging 80% of these entrepreneurs. It is. So you control money, and you should be making your money work for you instead of working for money. You don't work for money, you make the money work for you. And there's a big difference. And it's really powerful. So money, essentially, it's the vehicle where energy is exchanged. That's all it is. So I get my hair done, which I did get it done. So I got this permanent beach wave, but you can't see it because I put a braid in to add some volume and stuff like that. So anyway, I pay with money to receive a service that I like. So I pay the hairdresser for her exchange, right? For her exchange of energy in helping me with my hair. When you work with a hairdresser and she nails it, your hair is so gorgeous, well, the more you're going to want to pay your hairdresser. This is what money is all about. So the money is the energy that is exchanged, but unfortunately we see money in a way that makes it very negative. And we feel like money has this power, this control over us. And because we think that money does control us, then guess what? You can't control it. So we start saying things like, I can never make more money. I can't get out of debt. I can't afford it. And we start doing things that perpetuate that. So we go to the restaurant, and tell me if you've done this, because this was what I used to do. Go to the restaurant and you would choose a meal according to how much it costs, right? You know you do. Or you choose which trip you're going to take, which resort you're going to stay at according to the cost. You're looking for the best value or the cheaper option, and then it becomes this issue in your mind of, do I? And then you spend a little bit more to get the 4-star, or a little bit less to get the 3-star, but you know the 3-star, the 3 stars are not going to be very good. Do you experience this inner struggle around money? Like, this is just one example. All the time wasted on that. So what you want to do is you want to feel that money is abundant. And so many of you probably do not see money as abundant. And it's because your previous experience with it. So if you think of somebody who is born into wealth, see, I wasn't born into wealth, okay? I had to learn this, please. So if you think about somebody that is born into wealth, and we all know people born into wealth, the son of somebody that's very wealthy or the daughter of someone very wealthy, they're born into thinking that money is abundant, that it's everywhere, that it's available to them. And they can have whatever they want, they can spend whatever they want, and in turn, what ends up happening is those people remain wealthy. They do. But then we often say, and I used to say it, because I wasn't born into money, so I made assumptions. It's because they have their parents' inheritance. That's why. It's because of their parents. Of course they have money. It's given to them. Again, assumptions that the general population makes again and again and again. And the only people that get hurt is the general population, because because of those assumptions that are wrong, it's forcing you to stay where you are. And you don't want to stay where you are. You want your thinking to change. But what we don't know is that those sons and daughters of the rich family are continuing to grow and earn their own money for the rest of their life. And they do this because they think from a place of prosperity, not a place of lack. This is science. This is science. You're either thinking from a place of prosperity or lack. Law of polarity. You're either thinking from one side or the other side. You don't want to think lack. But I was brought up in an environment of lack. So if you're anything like me, and most of you are, we are born thinking that money is scarce. And our environment tells us so. The media was built for 95% of the population. It wasn't built for 5% of the population. They're speaking to you to accommodate 95% of the population. And 95% of the population, money is scarce. Look around you right now. What are you hearing on the news? Our programming tells us so, right? So we hear that it's hard to earn money right now. We hear our parents say that they can't afford this or that. So we say that to our children. We hear people say that we should save our money for a rainy day. And some of you will be like, well, of course we have to save our money. Yeah, I know. That's your thinking. I'm trying to get you to question your thinking right now. Don't assume that your thinking is right. Because if you don't like your current results, you got to be open to changing your current thinking. How many of you we should save for a retirement? All of these things, right? Look, I was in the finance world. Saving for retirements. That's what we're taught. And so it gets to a point where you subconsciously start to think that money is lacking. And if you see money as lacking, well, you cannot see all the ways to earn money. This is law of polarity. If you're on that side and you see lack, you cannot see abundance. It's impossible. You're not there. You're here. So you only see everything that's lacking. You cannot see all the avenues to get you to more money. You can't see it. And that's why a lot of clients, when they first talk to me, they're like, but I just can't see how I could ever earn more money. And then they work with me and then they're like, oh my God, this is science. Your thinking is either operating on the negative side of polarity or on the positive side. The ideas you want to connect with are on the positive side. But it's a little difficult to change your own mind when your mind is in control of you right now. So for most, they are thinking negative thoughts around money. And this leaves you with not having any. So what we call a prosperity consciousness is something that you need to develop. Prosperity consciousness. In the book of Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill basically started the personal development industry with the Think and Grow Rich book. So it's pretty powerful. And that's why you'll notice us mention a lot about Napoleon Hill. But our natural mindset is to go to scarcity. That is all. 95% of the population naturally, if not more, like I think they say more like 97%, is naturally to go to scarcity, to go to lack. We all naturally go to the poverty in our minds. Our minds will naturally go there because that is how we have been conditioned. So you're either born in a prosperity consciousness or you must develop one. I had to develop mine. You have to learn how to do that though, and how to develop one. So it's not just going to happen right away. You have to unlearn what was taught to you before and relearn your subconscious mind to have a prosperity consciousness. Okay, so how do you do that? How do we relearn so that our subconscious mind can see money differently? Okay, so to go from a place where I was earning $15,000 a month, and remember that took me decades to get there and a lot of hard work because of my negative thinking around money, because I thought that that's what I needed to do in order to get there. Plus, I feared leaving my job. So that's where I was. And I went from that to leaving my job, knowing I was about to do something big, and then experiencing leap jumps month after month after month. Now, $75,000 a month appears small to me based on where we're going and projecting to do. And because it appears small, it keeps climbing every month, though. You would have to agree that something big changed inside of me, because no one is doing what I'm doing. My models are quite unique to me. I don't have a huge social media following. I didn't win the lottery ticket. I didn't get a big, huge inheritance. I wasn't lucky and I was born in a family, because a lot of you know me. They know that I wasn't born in a family to earn this kind of money. And what changed? I changed my thinking around money. So you can see that something drastic has changed. A massive shift in perspective has changed. Like Bob said, our perception is our reality. Your reality right now is the perception. That's your current perception, and that's created that reality. You must change your reality, right? To change your reality, you must change your perception. It's so, so important. And I continue to change, and I love the path I'm on. So the good news for you is that no matter where you stand right now, no matter where you are or how much debt, because I started over. I left a marriage and started over. You can make a drastic change, and you can do it very fast. I work with entrepreneurs where they were practically going bankrupt. And now those same entrepreneurs are doing insane results. So sit back and ask yourself, am I truly coming from a place of scarcity and lack when it comes to money? Or am I coming from a place of abundance? You can easily test this out by looking at how you spend money and how you feel around spending money. Because there's a lot of people who spend money, but they feel guilty about it. Have you ever spent some money on something, money on yourself, and then get home and you think about it, returning it? Or you go and return it because you feel bad about buying it, you feel guilty? Here's the question. Would you feel bad or would you feel guilty if you really knew that money was abundant? Would you? Of course not. So there's nothing more powerful than going to a place and seeing money everywhere. It really makes you realize just how abundant money really is. It is everywhere. So a couple of months ago, I went to New York and meet up with Kevin. I think it was like maybe 3 months ago, but we went to this beautiful Italian restaurant. And while we were walking around, we'd see all these vehicles all around us. And these vehicles would be like $200,000 for a car. And that's US too. I'm Canadian, so that's a lot. And they're everywhere. They're literally everywhere. But now catch your current thoughts. As I'm talking about these $200,000 vehicles everywhere, what are your current thoughts about these expensive cars? Waste of money? I never spend my money on that. I'd buy something different than that. They could help people with that money instead of spending it all on themselves like that. Where's your thinking right now? Because it's not about others. This is about you. What are you thinking right now? Because what you think shapes the world you live in. It is what you think is what's creating the debt or creating more money in your or attracting more money in your life, one or the other. So it's really important to question if you don't like your current results. And I know it's a little difficult sometimes to look at ourselves when we don't like our current results, but you're going to be your biggest problem, but you're also your biggest solution. So instead of looking at where the money isn't or anything negative around money and expensive things, we need to look at where the money is. We need to shift our thinking and see money positive because it is. And we need to think about money and how much money do we want. Many people struggle big time to earn money and live a very comfortable life. Why is that? The only reason why anyone struggles with money is simple. It's their mindset around money is one of lack. They really believe that there's a lack of abundance, a lack of opportunities. Like right now, their minds are going to like, oh, well, and I've heard so many entrepreneurs that should be doing this program, but they're like, the reason why I can't service my clients is because of COVID. No, it's because you've decided that it's because of COVID, and now you're behaving that way, and it's going. That's why your sales are on a decline, because now you're not serving people. It's so important to recognize that if you haven't done Bob's, this is a good way of doing it too, is that if you haven't done Bob's manifesting money meditation from YouTube, I highly suggest it. I don't know if anybody's on here. You could certainly maybe Sasha or anyone can just post the meditation from Bob Proctor to help a little bit here. Bob starts off by having you see abundance everywhere. When you look outside, he says, like, whenever you look outside, see the abundance of trees, the abundance of grass everywhere, the abundance of people, because that's what we need to do to connect to the very ideas that will connect us to the ideas you need so that you can attract the job that you want, the money that you want, all these things, right, that are stopping you from living that life you want. And part of it is money. So for those of you with small businesses, or maybe if you have a sales role, here's a perfect example. There are 6 billion people on Facebook alone. Do you look at it that way? Or do you look at it like you don't feel like you have enough people to talk to? See, I hear people saying that their industry is saturated online, that there's too many online businesses. So that's why they're struggling with their business. That's not why they struggle. They struggle because of their thinking. They're thinking that there's not enough people for them and there's too much competition. If that's what they think, that's all they will see. And because they cannot see beyond the competition and lack of clients, they will not understand how or believe others that do earn more because they see more abundance. Like, they can't see it. They can't connect to more abundance. So how could they? They're like, how could they be doing it? How could they be earning that much? I'm just as good as they are. And I'm sharing this because this often leads people towards feeling not so great about themselves, right? And then they don't feel amazing about the results. And what do? Then you eat, sabotage other areas of your life. And then it creates this vicious cycle of things like money hurts marriages. Think about it, money problems, right? And then negative things happen in your life. All these micro decisions you make that control the outcome of your life. You end up making all these negative little decisions based on not feeling so great. And then more of the not so great will repeat itself. And I saw on the other day, it was perfect, because it's not the circumstances that are the problem, it's your decisions that you make daily. A lot of people will be like, oh, look at these problems and issues and circumstances in my life. And that's not what they should be focused on and think about. They need to think of the decisions they make daily that keep reproducing the same results that they don't want. So this negative thinking, most are not conscious of it. But what it does, it creates negative emotions within you, and most of your actions are controlled by what you feel. So your negative emotions means negative actions. You cannot have negative emotions and think your actions are going to be positive. You can't. And therefore, this guarantees you negative results. I'm telling you right now, this is science. You cannot feel negative about money and think you can get positive results with money. It's impossible. If you keep trying to do that, like most of the population is right now, if you keep having negative thoughts around money and then keep trying to get positive results and earn more, it is like you spending all your time trying to defy gravity. How successful would you be in trying to defy gravity? You would tell a person to stop wasting their energy doing that, right? What I want is to help you shift your money mindset from negative to positive so that you can see all your earning potential clearly. And trust me, if I can earn this much, all of you can too. I just want you guys to stop defying these laws. There's abundance everywhere. So much money out there. And what's really, really interesting, what Bob talks about in this book of You're Born Rich, is that people who have money are comfortable with talking about it. And I know they are comfortable about talking about it. They are comfortable with spending money. And when I would work with these entrepreneurs that didn't do well, they were very uncomfortable talking about their money. And the ones that were really well, man, they were super. You got to get comfortable talking about it. And trust me, they don't get comfortable talking about it because they have the money. Again, that's another assumption people make. Their comfort with money came before they had the money. And that's what attracted the money to them. Don't make that mistake. They were comfortable with money first, and then the money came. What we think about, we create in the material world. If you think about lack and limitations, you're gonna attract lack and limitations. If you think about your debt, you're going to attract more debt. That's why people that are in debt, heavily in debt, they just never get out of it. And when they do get out of debt, they get right back into it. They're always thinking about debt and they don't realize it. If you think you don't have enough clients, you will never have enough clients. Let's talk about debt. Instead of thinking about or having a goal of getting rid of your debt, I want you to create a goal of having money in the bank. See the difference? One has you thinking about a large sum of money in your bank account, where the other one makes you feel like you have debt to get rid of. There's a difference. The more you think about money in a positive way, see yourself living with money, the more money you will attract. So there's a couple of things that I want to read to you guys from You Were Born Rich. Anyone that wants this book, who wants a copy of this book, I can certainly include here as well, and we'll get you a copy. But just type in there, yes, please, I'd like a copy of that book. But this is a great book to get you started with. It's going to help you with more little shifts. But I'm all about big shifts. I've already spent 2 decades with little shifts. Now I don't focus on little shifts anymore. I go for the big, massive shifts. I love seeing my life results change dramatically, but this is good for those aha moments to help you. And it made a big difference because it was what started this entire journey for me. And he explains in the book, if your bank account is in the negative and you need to picture your bank with money in it. Your current physical reality is a manifestation of past thinking. Your current physical reality is a manifestation of past thinking. So the lack of money in your bank account right now is simply a reflection of what you did in the past. It's what you did 2 weeks ago, a month ago, or yesterday. And that's why you lack money today. So when you feel bad about lack of money today, you feel bad because you are thinking about the past. So therefore, you're reproducing more of the past. So in order to change that bank account now, you have to think differently now. You have to think about your bank account with more money in it. See yourself with the money you need now. Another thing you must do is you must begin to entertaining relaxing thoughts. Keep your body relaxed when you think about money. So if you start to think about money and you start getting anxious or your body gets anxious, you don't want that. So what you want is you want to see money and you want to be relaxed while you see it. The instant you become entered to it, the instant you begin to entertain worry or feelings of fear, your body will become rigid and tense. So as soon as you start to see yourself, if you're thinking about money right now and you're thinking about your current money situation and you get anxious and you get fearful or you're tense, your body tenses up and that gets you in this low energetic state. What you want to do is you want to get yourself up here. So you want to go to a high frequency of vibration. So you want to be a frequency of vibration of somebody making, let's say, 50,000 a month. Not here at, let's say, 5,000. I don't know, I'm just throwing numbers out here. You want to be thinking up here. And I didn't master that until I did this program, of course. So as you begin to hold thoughts of prosperity and begin to see yourself as wealthy, your body and mind will instantly move into a prosperous vibration, and you will begin to attract money to you like a magnet, everything that you need to become wealthy. And it's not hocus pocus. Understand that your mind is surrounded by billions of information. You will only attract to yourself the very things you think about. Your mind can only start focusing on the things around you that are aligned with what you're focusing on. So that's why we always say, what do you want? Keep that target on what you want, because then the mind is like, okay, radar, let's find out of this billions of information that is circulating around us. Let's start seeing everything it is that we need to give this person what they're focused on. But most people are focused on debt and focused on what they not want. So that's why the mind is pulling out of these billions of information the stuff that align with what you don't want. And so you see, and you're like, see, this happens to me all the time. Look, see, this is what you're only seeing all of that stuff because your mind is basically giving your life direction. Understand that it's like jumping into your car and you got to give direction. Where are you going? So most people would be jumping in the car and going towards what they don't want. So then you end up where you don't want. This is how the mind operates. It's not hocus pocus. It's not magic to people like myself that study mindset. It feels that way to those that don't understand this because they don't understand it. They see it as magic. It's not magic. It's science. And when you understand this, then you start seeing all the opportunities that connect to what you want. So if what you want is $1 million or whatever it is that you want, and you stay focused on that, and you start living more of that lifestyle and stop worrying about everything, because again, we don't want that thinking. We want thinking of prosperity. Then you're going to start seeing things you never saw before. The mind will start pulling things that you never thought was there to begin with, opportunities. All of this brings more health in a person's life too. Think about it, because think of the stress people are living with daily because they're stuck in the job they hate, stuck not living the life they want because of money, stuck with the bills and all that stress on their bodies. It's aging them so rapidly. You can keep buying all those creams. You can keep trying all those fitness programs, but your health is going to keep deteriorating. This is why this is part of the program. This is why I need to help people shift their thinking around money. Well, your body's going to shift pretty darn quick, right? When it's not stressed about money. This is what happened to me. The more I thought about money in my bank account, the more I thought about abundance, the more money would come. And this is not an easy thing to do. It requires you to invest in yourself, and it takes some discipline and desire for this. See, the good thing that I had on my side is that I had this strong burning desire, not for the money, but for what more money could do for me in my life and the freedom it could give me. and what I could do for the people around me. And I also had a strong burning desire to help others change their lives too. And so when I start thinking about having more money and attracting more money, I'm thinking about how I'm going to attract more money to myself so that I can live my dream and be this big disruption to the weight loss industry. That's my mission, and serve people in the way that has them living their big, abundant, free, passionate life and look good doing it. You should look good doing it. You got an incredible body. A strong and healthy body is a great looking body. So that's what I started to do. I started to build models for my clients and for others. And our mission is to be the change this industry needs. And yes, get paid good money doing that. You should too. Feels good. And it should. But it does require desire. Some have no desire. They would rather continue to struggle with money. It takes no more effort to aim high in life and claim all your riches, your heart desires, than it does to stay where you are and live with less. I used to believe it. I used to believe it would be harder work to actually earn more money too. Because I'm already working crazy amount of hours, earning this amount of money. Can you imagine if I'm earning $1 million? How many hours would I have to work? No. The higher I go, the more people I hire, the more freedom I have. Your mindset just changes absolutely everything. But desire can switch you to a prosperity consciousness and attract large sums of money to you. I have seen it over and over again, and it can be done in a short period of time. I'm proof of that, and there are many that are proof of that too. I didn't see this before because I wasn't on their frequency. I would repel most people with my negative money mindset. There's no way I would have attracted amazing business partners. Not with my old thinking. My old thinking attracted people that ran away with my money. That's why I never trusted people. Because yeah, no wonder I didn't trust people when it came to money. I didn't even trust myself with money. But now I'm only surrounded by great minds, and we mastermind. And at this level of thinking, do you know what's even better? We never worry about attracting bad people in our lives. Never. Bob Proctor teaches that in his program, how to see right through people. It's quite powerful. How good would you be in helping your clients, truly helping your clients, if you could see what they are hiding from you? And I know, because I'll be in front of a lot of people, and especially when I'm in their presence, they're like, I can kind of feel. They could tell right away. They're like, I feel like I can't hide anything from you. Because they can't. And so all of a sudden they're like, woof. So try it. Call me. You'll see. You'll open up like you won't believe. You'll be like, why am I even talking about this? But you have to. So back to money. Ask yourself this. How big is your desire? How badly do you want it? How badly do you believe that it can happen? If you do not believe it, you are not open to receiving more, and more will not come. You will end up being right. Do you want to be right? I don't know about you, but I got tired of being right. I don't want to be right anymore. I'm open to receiving. So in the comments, type, are you open to receiving? So I teach a lot about Neville Goddard to my clients, and he says, any idea, plan, purpose that is planted in the subconscious mind through repetition will inevitably manifest in the physical form if you expect it. So what are you expecting? Are you expecting to pay your bills next month? Or are you expecting more money to come to you? Are you expecting to earn double your income? And remember, if you just cannot see yourself earn more money, contact your success advisor and they will help you expand so that you can see your full potential. It'll take like a 15-minute laser call. It's not going to be very long. All they want to do is get you unstuck so that you can really take in this information. And look, we've all been there. We've all been in this place where we think money is lacking. Unless you were born into it, it wasn't, I wasn't born into it. Not many of us are. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anymore. There's another way. And we will figure it out. it is in the repetition of prosperous thoughts and ideas that's going to help open yourself up. And then money starts to flow to you. Right now, I've helped you expand on what's possible. There's no way you've watched this whole video and didn't start thinking about something more that is possible for you. That's what happens. It's awesome. So keep expecting more and more and more. You know, lack and limitation can only exist if we make room in our minds. So let's not make room in our minds anymore. A prosperity consciousness knows no lack, no limitation. So if you truly are in a prosperity consciousness, there is no lack and there is no limitation. And those two only come into your mind when we allow them to come in. So you must add lots of thoughts of prosperity and abundance of wealth in your mind. And what's going to happen is going to push out the lack and limitation out of your mind. You literally push it out. You reject those thoughts as they show up. Eventually, there's absolutely no room for it because you filled your mind with the good thoughts. And that's kind of what the program does. So if you're sick of not having enough money, I want you to put in the comments right now, you're sick of not having money. Enough is enough is enough, no more. You know, I'll hear people say, I'm always broke, I'm always struggling with money, things are always breaking down. Why is that? Well, the universe you live in works in this special way, and until you learn and grow from it and rise above it, you will keep experiencing the same problems over and over. And Mind Valley had this great analogy, and then I'm going to have to end this because I just realized almost two. So remember when we were little and your parents had to sneak in fruits and vegetables? Because if they allowed you to eat only junk food, that wouldn't be good, right? But when we're little and we're given these fruits and vegetables and we don't really want them, we're like, we really don't want them. We're like, ugh. But as we get older, we look back and think, oh, wow, that was for my own good. Thank goodness my parents sneaked in some vegetables and fruits in my diet. Otherwise, I would have grown up to be the person. I wouldn't have grown up to be the person that I am today. Well, the universe that we live in operates in the same manner. You will continuously experience that plate of fruits and vegetable that you don't want. The debt, all that stuff that you don't want. But this pushes you to grow. Without it, there would be no learning or growing. And when you look back on it, or when you look back during your tough times and really think about it, would you be where you are right now had it not been for that tough time that has permitted you to learn to get to where you are right now and to learn and to grow? So that debt that you keep continuously are experiencing, that situation, the same things you're experiencing over and over again, can it be that you are not accepting the plate of fruits and vegetables that the universe is handing to you to help you get to that next level you seek? Could it be that you are saying no? Right? No, I don't want that. I don't need that. Sweeping it under the rug. And therefore, you are not dealing with it, growing from it, rising above it. Therefore, the universe will keep offering you the same plate of fruits and vegetables over and over again until you take it in and grow from it. So this is very powerful. You're about to see that you're not here with me because this is a coincidence or an accident. You want this. And because you want this, you attracted this. I wanted change in my life, and I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And when I came across this, it was because I was ready to leave the world where the majority lived and finally open my mind to a world of freedom and opportunities. And I haven't looked back since. So I really don't want you to start toying, it's like Einstein said, don't expect to solve your problems with the same thinking that created the problem. So you really don't want to start toying with this. Now that you know what you know, so many do that. They keep chasing the money. They are not focused on the service, the ideas, the growth, the journey. And what happens is that they go back to the lack mindset again and again and end up feeling like they're not enough and allowing fear to stop them. And it's just this vicious cycle that never ends. I simply want you to trust and have more faith. I just want you to have more faith. I want you to instill more faith in yourself. And that's what this week is a lot about. Because your binge eating has, or emotional eating, or anything that has to do with your weight loss or anything like that, or your body, goes much deeper than that. Okay, so stay focused on what you're doing now, right? So it's so important. Stay focused this week. Keep watching these videos, keep doing the homework, stay focused on this learning, and just know that you can change your life so very rapidly, but it's your choice. You get to choose. So tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, mindful eating and the love to move. So don't miss it. That's what it's going to be about. So I appreciate you guys all so very much. And thank you so much.